We're gonna talk CZ and Binance and Donald Trump and all of these other things. Just a quick one, you know. Quick thing before we go. How's everyone, by the way? Great day today, nice and sunny day, you know. It's time, it's long overdue, man, with this altcoin season. I like the fact that CZ was pardoned by Donald Trump. You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. Crypto and altcoin season and all of these great things, you know. Things are brewing up. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the direction of travel where crypto is headed. So yeah, every now and then I'm going to pop in with one of these ones, make a quick live before I get off. But yeah. Real cool. CZ of Binance being patterned by Donald Trump was an absolute great thing. I like it. It just showcases strength of altcoin season. It showcases strength of the unity of crypto and how powerful crypto is, you know, especially going towards the end of the cycle. Some of these EVM chains, I mean, the EVM chain that could really do it, it could be Binance, man. I'm really bullish on Binance. You know, y'all seen some of the stuff that's been going on with it lately. I like Binance. I like where CZ is taking his thing. And yeah, man. Byron Lara said hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Hello to you, man. Jay Perry 014 said, what's good? What up, Jay? Just getting ready to talk about CZ and Binance and altcoin season. And him being pardoned by Trump. What's up with this? Jay Perry said, what's up with this Irish ecosystem? Well, Richard is like, I really wish he took the CZ route and he wasn't afraid of just the authorities coming after him, man. This is not yeah, like it looks like he's scared. He doesn't want to do anything. He took the money. He took people's sacrifices and he's too scared to do anything with it. He miscalculated and he's doing a lot of things that like making it seem like, yo, I mean, CZ didn't win his case. CZ pleaded guilty, you know? And even though CZ didn't commit any crime, but CZ, you know, allowed people who were trading certain stuff on Binance that were not allowed to trade those stuff according to US rules and regulations. And CZ said, yep, I'm guilty. We made mistakes. We shouldn't have allowed these people to trade on our platform. That's not a crime. It's just you like looking the other way while other people are trading. Like you like a merchant, a shop, somebody's walking into your shop. You don't know if what fraudulent activity they up to. They recognize their mistake. That's why he had the lesser sentence compared to the SBF and whatnot. They were clearly stealing. They were clearly doing some bogus activities. That's why they got in trouble. Now, CZ, on the other hand, he didn't do that, you know? So that's why he had the lesser sentence. It was only 4 months, and Trump was able to pardon him because of that. It wasn't because of no criminal activities or none of that. Richard, on the other hand, he won his case with the SEC. The DOJ prosecuted CZ and Binance. The SEC is just like a civil lawsuit thing. It wasn't criminal. So, Richard, you got nothing to be afraid of. But then we have your name in Interpol. You know, we have your name in Interpol. You had so many things play out, you know, in your favor, and you're just gonna run away like that, man, CZ. I mean, Richard, you know, Richard just took off with the money, man, and the chain has been suffering ever since. And he's coming out, he's blaming the Pulsicans for not doing enough marketing, but he doesn't realize they've been trying. They tried. The Pulse chain community tried. They tried to market this thing. They tried to do everything in their favor. He wasn't supporting the chain. He was moving funds towards Ethereum, like him buying Ethereum at $3,800, and then it tanked straight after that. It wasn't a wise move. You know, we just got it. But yeah, man, it wasn't a wise move, man. Jay Perry said, "I want to see what Zen is going to do." Yeah, Zen will be okay, man. Zen would do fine. I think there's a reversal coming for Zen, hopefully towards the end of the year, and another reversal could be coming also next year. But it has to depend on certain factors to play out first for Zen to be able to perform, you know, what it's supposed to do. Because I like Zen's first principles is on Bitcoin on EVM chains pretty much. And if you accumulate enough of it and you believe in it long term, and it's not really meant to be hodled, it's meant to be, what do you call it, burnt and all this other stuff. But if community sentiment is at all-time low and people are just not really keen on that, it's not going to work. It'll only work if community sentiment comes back to it and people are actually willing to go to the dexes and speculate on it and buy it and stake it and burn it, and more activities are coming in. The DeFi heads need to get back into Zen in order for Zen to be great. But if they don't, then no, man. And then you have the other side where people who was in it in the beginning are just not, yeah, they moved on to other things. They're going over to Solana, but doing their thing over there. And yeah, if Zen is not included in those things, it's just not gonna, yeah. But yeah, now I like CZ, man. I like where his where his head is in the space, and him getting the pardon is like, it's like a big karma for SBF. SBF was lobbying with the Democrats. Somebody out there was saying, "Oh, well, Sam, Trump might pardon him and whatnot." I wouldn't. Nah, that guy, nah. That's just like evil, man. That guy was, he was up to no good, bro. Like for real. Like he tried to destroy the altcoin world because he didn't like certain individuals like CZ and Charles Hoskinson and all these other altcoin figureheads. He literally wanted to destroy altcoins, the altcoin world, by lobbying with Democrats. And you're supposed to be for crypto. You're supposed to be pro crypto. Nobody knew who SBF was before he ventured into crypto. All these founders, no one really knew who they were until they jump into crypto. So why would you go against it? Why would you lobby and pay Democrats millions of dollars so they can persecute your peers in crypto? Even if they are your competition. Binance was a major competition to FTX, but you was lobbying, trying to destroy the altcoin world, bro. And come to find out, he was the one taking funds from the FTX users' funds, and he was gambling with it, trading, doing the evil thing behind the scenes. And once they found him out, boom, he went insolvent. He got hit, and it's gone. Alex Mazinski, same, another guy who did that. And all of these guys, they weren't here for crypto. They were here just to destroy. So yeah, if you come into the game just to destroy, the game is going to destroy you, man. These people are not here for long term and first principles and helping the crypto world thrive and whatnot. People like CZ, people like CZ, they were, man. 100% J. Perry. They were here to, they're here long term. That's why I believe Binance is going to be just fine. And you have a centralized exchange, and then you have the Binance Smart Chain, which is a decentralized, well, some people say it's centralized, but BSC, man. BSC is where DeFi is, Web3, and all of the projects we've been involved with over the past several months on Binance are doing absolutely fine. Doesn't matter if the market is up or down, we've been making significant gains. That's, you've seen the video that I just dropped a couple of days ago with XPIN, real world use case, real world adoption. They literally selling SIM cards. They literally partnered with 150 different countries, and they are providing them free Wi-Fi network, and all this other stuff. They're adapting themselves rapidly into the market. And just yesterday, they broke a penny. I think it's retracing right now because, every time we hit a target with XPIN, there's gonna be a retracement, a 5, 10%, 15% retracement where people are gonna sell off. But as the whales are selling off, those tokens are gonna be redistributed into the market, and it allows early adopters over the next 6 months to be able to get in before this thing can really take off. To be honest, I think it could really take off between November, December timeframe, like right before Christmas. You may see a major push with XPIN, and then a major retracement. And then once that retracement happens between January and April, it could be another major push. I'm basing this off of the Clarity Act that's supposed to happen sometimes in November, hopefully really soon. And, it was meant to be happening this week, but there was a disagreement that happened in the parliament, in the US parliament. So the Clarity Act was just a bill that's supposed to allow altcoins, meme coins, and all these other things to have a clear regulatory clarity of where they want to go in the future. So if that bill is passed, all of these large cap altcoins are going to explode. And then you're going to have meme coins and all these other protocol, DeFi protocols, and all these things also going to explode. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the power of that thing, man. Yeah, definitely. It could happen. It could happen. But once the Clarity Act gets here, then you might see Bitcoin explode significantly. I'm hoping that we have a blow off top between now and April of 2026. And yeah, early signs are showing. Market is recovering slowly. I just don't like the manipulations, man. The last, I would say, few weeks has been bad. Like, people lost their lives. People committed suicide. And, hopefully those people rest easy. But, it's money is not life, so you got to look after your mental health. I get it, where we expected the market to be in this time around, it didn't play out like how we intended it to do. But that stuff shouldn't cause you to lose your life over nonsense like that. The guy who blew himself up in the car and he did that, apparently he was trying to be a crypto hedge fund. And this is the thing why I'm very careful doing the influencing thing, because a lot of people, they like being in the forefront and just jumping into the influencing thing. I want to be a crypto influencer. And one thing leads to another. Projects start paying you, and you start managing large sums of money, and all of a sudden people are trusting you. I see a lot of influencers doing it nowadays, where there's somewhat large of audience, and they just said, oh, I want to be a hedge fund manager, and I want to manage funds, other people's funds, where you don't have any experience in managing large sums of money. You never seen $1 million in your life, and now you are managing hundreds of millions, tens of millions, in terms of funds. That money is in your account because those people trust you because you're an influencer. You're gonna be at a disadvantage at some point if you don't have the experience to do so. And the coins that dude was buying, and most of the entities that trusted him, I think he was managing between $10 million or something. He had a large portfolio where he was convincing people to invest in his hedge funds, and he would be trading tokens for them. He would be doing altcoin picks for them. For example, he might tell them, hey, I'm picking XPIN, or I'm picking this one, or I'm picking that one for you. And then the mistake he made was he overly leveraged himself. He got involved with perpetual DEX trading, yield, Aster, hyperliquid stuff. The hyperliquid stuff is the stuff that really killed them. So he, over leveraged himself. The funds, the millions that he was receiving from these people that trusted him, he took it and he tried to leverage trade with it, and he got wrecked. And all that money is done now. You got people on your phone calling you, "Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money?" So yeah, he was found at the back of his Ferrari. He had to end himself like that because of what he did. So don't let greed drive you. If you're into crypto and you're doing this influencing thing, I don't think it's wise to do the managed hedge fund type crypto market type thing until you really like have experience in the market, and you know how to move money, you know how to flip money real fast, and you know how to multiply money. Crypto is highly volatile. It's a dangerous market. So you need to be extra cautious moving like that, man. You need to be careful. You need to be very, very, very careful because, it's not pretty when you lose money, and you lose your mental health. A lot of factors in life happen, and that can significantly affect you and your family and your livelihood, man. If you are an influencer in crypto, just be careful. This is why for multiple years now, I'm one of the few people that I don't do the influencing thing. I just tell people all the time, I'm just a guy on crypto, because we don't have regulatory clarity in terms of what are you supposed to be if you're an influencer, what are you supposed to be if you're a crypto YouTuber. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. Just a guy on YouTube that makes crypto videos. That's it. I do that to protect myself because I know that, money and greed can be very tempting. And the temptation of that is like a really, really, it's tempting, man. I've had over the past several years, centralized exchanges, large ones of them, approached me and said, "Hey, just promote us. We're gonna give you some money monthly and X, Y, and Z." And I looked into that stuff. I'm like, nah, man. Y'all just want to lure people into your way to do some tradings and whatnot and get wrecked. And I'm the one who was sharing the links, and I get in trouble because of that. And I didn't like that. And because I had that intuition early on when I was in the Cardano community, um, several months later, FTX collapsed. Several months later, a lot of these BlockFi, all of them large companies approached me and several influencers and said, we have to approach the mid-tier DeFi influencers. We was on a smaller scale, but we was pulling numbers in the DeFi community. Everybody knew who Nakamoto was and what I was doing, what I was stood for. And I didn't want to compromise those things. I just wanted to be a guy that comes in and do my plays. Okay, cool. If I get into anything, I make sure that I put my own money in it. Sometimes I be making videos on Twitter. People see me on my overalls walking and whatnot, and they think, oh, this guy is poor and whatnot. I'm not dirt poor, bro. I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank God. I have a career. I don't flip burgers for a living. That's just me trolling other people because those people are broke and they want to make fun of other people. So that's why I flip the script back on them. Shout out to anybody who's flipping burgers for a living and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that job, but I have a 15-year career. And that's the thing about it. So yeah, so having a career and a job and a family and doing all of these other things and regular stuff, man. But we're blessed. We're blessed. Um, that's what I do. I always prefer to bring my own bread, no matter how big or no matter how little, into the crypto game, just to be at peace of mind with myself. So at least the people that are recommending picks and coins for, we are investing together, which means they put in their money, I put in my own money as well. So this is why you haven't seen me start really multiple things, because I'm waiting on regulatory clarity. What's allowed to do in crypto and what's not allowed to be done in crypto. And maybe one day I'm gonna do that, but until then it's just like, yeah, nah. We're bringing our own capital into crypto. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. But at least you live at peace. At least you're not in trouble because of that. You know, that's just the power of that thing, man. We need to have clarity first before a lot of these factors play out. You've seen Binance. I mean, you've seen what's been happening lately with the AI cryptos, right? Everything that people have been talking about last year, Fetch AI, and they're dealing with this other AI company called Ocean Protocol. You know, Ocean Protocol and Fetch AI are having a beef because what happened last year, they did this merge. So the merging got these two large AI companies in crypto together, but then one had to betray the other allegedly. Like, Fetch AI is accusing Ocean Protocol of dumping 200 million Fetch tokens. But, this is also, centralized exchanges. I wouldn't recommend the daily users to be leaving their funds over there all the time. If you're doing the trading thing, you like them, get in there, trade. Me, I prefer trading into DEXs. Get in there, trade, get out. MEXE, Binance, Coinbase, all of these large centralized exchanges. But Fetch AI, a lot of these altcoins and whatnot, and these AI agent companies, the reason why they like centralized exchanges is because, liquidity, they don't trust DEXs because most DEXs, even the last DEXs, don't have a lot of liquidity for you to trade. If you're moving a few $1,000s, few 100,000, you're all right. If you're moving a few millions, you're all right. But if you're moving $100 million and above, as a large company, that's risk. So you have to deposit it into security, where somewhere where it's safe. You can safely move it and convert it into something else. You got to trust the entity that you're giving that money to. This is the reason why these large centralized exchanges are also important on that aspect. So those 250 million, $500 million and above were moved to Binance, and apparently they sold those tokens and whatnot. But when they had the agreement in the beginning, Ocean Protocol and Fetch, it was like, I buy your token, you buy mine kind of thing. And then you hold my token and I hold your token, and nobody dumps on each other like that. But if one party betrays the other party is gonna sell it. It's crypto, man. It's been happening on a larger scales too. That's why you've seen Coinbase having a Solana validator, Binance running a Solana validator. The Solana boys are holding a lot of BNB too as well, and Coinbase is holding a lot of BNB as well. So they all do that to each other. If there's no security, they dump on each other and move on to something else, or they can recycle the thing and rinse and repeat. And it's crypto, bro. You can't really stop those kind of activities. Nurse Tolu, how are you? Yeah, 100%. She said, yeah, man. I'm out here preaching, but um, yeah, that's the main thing. Binance is promising, man. It's one of the last stronghold of the EVM world. I like that. I like that. I like the fact that the EVM world is fighting back. Because for a minute, people are saying, well, Solana's a better technology with Rust and Move. And it's great. It's really great tech. I like Solana. But I don't like to see the EVM world die. I don't like traditional crypto to to die off with that, because it's still a lot to be done, and still a lot of interesting things the EVM world could offer to, So us as crypto users, we really don't care about none of that. We just want to deposit our funds somewhere, make our money, go on about our day, And nothing is safe these days, in terms of security. The blockchain trilemma, a lot of people like saying, oh, Solana is the best thing ever. No, it's not, because it haven't solved the blockchain trilemma. Stuff can never be decentralized, scalable, and secure at the same time. That's the blockchain trilemma if you've been in crypto for so long. Satoshi's been trying to solve that for a long time. Bitcoin doesn't have it. Bitcoin is, you can argue, it's fully decentralized. Close. It's the most decentralized one out there. It launched with first principles. People were mining it in the beginning to get it. So Bitcoin being fully decentralized, right? Completely secure. Somewhat it has a breach. It had a breach. Someone was able to hack into Bitcoin roll and mint several more Bitcoins, and to the point where the Bitcoin devs had to roll the chain back. They hid it as it was a secret, but it happened. So decentralization, security, and also scalability. So Bitcoin cannot scale. Last year, some people put some ordinals on the Bitcoin network. It nearly collapsed. The fees just jump into high. Ethereum is having the same issues. It is somewhat decentralized. A centralized entity launched Ethereum. That means that's the reason why I say somewhat decentralized. So Ethereum is some decentralized, some centralized. Ethereum is somewhat secure, but Ethereum also cannot scale. 14 transactions per second. Not the right thing. And then you have what else is out there? The layer twos. They have to support Ethereum and help them, but they got some of their stuff on AWS servers, and Jeff Bezos's people messed up the other day with the Amazon AWS servers, and boom. Chains like Base, layer twos got in trouble. They couldn't do much. So people were offloading a lot of money from Base now. And yeah. So it's very difficult to solve the blockchain trilemma. I think one of the few chains that tried to do it was Cardano. Like it can somewhat scale, but they still have a lot of tweaking and work to do before yeah. They still have a lot of work to do, man. But yeah, so the blockchain trilemma, it's very, very hard to do. Solana can't, because I've given you the example of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and layer twos couldn't do it. Solana themselves, they can't do it because they are a centralized chain. You can argue with that because it's hard to even create a Solana validator. They can somewhat scale. The scalability of Solana is extremely good. It's actually better than a lot of EVMs, but it's not secure because in the past they had several outages and they were just wrecking themselves in all of that stuff. So Solana also failed the blockchain trilemma. So for a blockchain to come and claim that they solved the blockchain trilemma, they're lying. It's impossible. No blockchain has ever done that over the past decade of us searching for the next big thing. EVMs like Binance Smart Chain. So EVMs like Binance Smart Chain. Bear with me, guys. I'm just getting rid of this racist clown. Remove that garbage. Louis Eastwood or something. Some people just get into people's lives just to troll. Yeah. Let's get rid of this fool out of here. Louis Eastwood. What kind of name is that? So yeah. The blockchain trilemma. Very difficult to solve. Not easy. So stuff can either be super decentralized but have problems in scalability. You cannot scale long enough, or somewhat is not secure. And stuff can be super secure, super fast, but cannot scale. Stuff can scale really, really good, but not fully decentralized. It has to be controlled by some centralized entity. They're all having the same issues. SUI, Aptos. You can argue even Binance Smart Chain. A lot of these chains are somewhat, a lot of these chains have a centralized entity and a centralized authority. But yeah, man, this is the crypto game that we're living in. And yeah, I believe the end of the year could be somewhat bullish, like right before the Christmas sell-off. Of course, it always happens. But between now and again, we can see something good, something nice. And yeah, man, I mean, I made gains with Asta. I made gains with XPIN and the two projects that I've spoken about. Members, I just dropped the second one. The two other projects that I've been talking about have been widely adopted. Between those together, yeah, made mad gains and crazy gains with it, man. And that's a dope thing. Our portfolio back growing again. Sometimes when you leave your portfolio into the wrong coins, it'll look like it's stagnant. It's not going up. But when you redirect it in the right coins, that's when you start prospering, man, and that's a good thing. We coming into game with only a few $1,000 to turn it into a lot more than that, and that's the game, and this is why I'm planning to at least hold it until next few months, and then we'll see where the market takes us, man. We need to win big with something. I kind of like that. So when you have the gut feeling of something going wrong, I always pivot into something else, which is a good thing. Sometimes you got to do that at the right time. You see, when people started trolling Binance Smart Chain and said, look, all of these coins on Binance are getting dumped, and Asta and perpetual DEX and yield and all this other stuff, they didn't realize we was already in profit. And 99% of all of the coins that rugged on Binance, I didn't get involved with none of that. I didn't touch any of that. I didn't do perpetual leverage trade, perpetual bonding, none of that. All I did was just pick 4 different projects, including Asta. For the last 4 months, this is what I've been involved with. And each one of them is like, one of them I've been involved with for like a year and a half now. Last year, I got involved with it. And this year, within 12 months, I held that coin, 12 and a half months. It's up more than almost 4,000%. Powerful, man. And I think the way it is rapidly getting adopted, whew, by some of these countries, yeah, that one is going to be, yeah, that's the hidden gem right there. And then Asta, when I got in, it was at 56 cents. I bought Asta a few months back. 56 cents, yeah, I got in. Because the reason why I got into Asta, I was on Binance Discord and people were talking about CZ is gonna get involved with this one. I was like, is he? Okay, that's all I needed to hear. So I went and bought Asta at 56 cents, and the rest is history. It ran up to like $2, and I think we had like what 2,000% or something with Asta. I can't remember the gains, but that was dope. That was beautiful, man. Yeah, crypto is like that. You have to have the ability to pivot and study and learn. The first $100,000 that I've ever made with crypto was with Cardano, and that was back in 2021, and that was just me buying it in March of 2020 with the COVID date, the pandemic, and between March 2020 to September 21, it ran up from 3 cents all the way up to $3.10. I sold Cardano at like $2.90. Yeah, and then I made another close to 80K with Dogecoin. Why? Because I had like 250,000 Dogecoin in 2019, you know, and I sold some of it, but then the rest of it, once I heard Elon's gonna get in, yeah, I was in. So yeah, that's the purpose of this channel, man, just to help the little guy win at something and made something. And all of these things that I've just told you, I've documented on my channel. You know, I've got older videos that people have seen, and they've seen my gains and everything I've done. You know, my channel is transparent, so that's the beauty, man. That's the beauty about that thing, and I like that. So I don't think we would be making large gains like that going towards the future and whatnot. But I think by next year, yeah, something could be happening. But you know, this is of course before the big crash, because next year there's a big crash coming with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been parabolic. Bitcoin has been going up. It's been very parabolic, and to see BTC do what it did, man, it's absolutely amazing. In November 22, when Bitcoin bottomed at 15, 16K, that's when I knew like FTX collapsed and all these other things happened. So yeah, I got a few more BNB at the time. It was at 290, almost at $200 per Binance, and the rest is history, man. The rest is history. It went up. It went up big. Mr. Gus, that's my brother, man. I like Gus, one of my longtime OG channel members. Shout out to Gus, man. That's my good people right there. That's my librarian brother, Gus. Chief, Gus said, long time. Yeah, long time, man. Gus, yeah, just been walking and and getting ready for this altcoin season, man. Gearing up, looking at ways. Hey, Gus, I dropped another members video too about a particular coin. I think that one could be something on Binance, man, because Mr. $80 billion man CZ, if he decided to do his magic things with Binance, a lot of those coins are gonna get listed on the centralized exchange, and the rest is history. You know, because hey, Coinbase did it in 2021. Pretty much, people, even us. Like when we was talking about Cardano between 2019, 2020 and whatnot, no one really paid attention. That is until Charles Hoskinson went over to a Lex Friedman podcast, and the rest was history. And Coinbase still didn't list Cardano because the smart contracts thing and everything wasn't live. But because the Cardano's community was so resilient and they were so big, those coins, those Coinbase couldn't resist. They couldn't fade Cardano anymore. So Coinbase was forced to list Cardano in 2021. The biggest news that drove Cardano to $2 between March 2020 and April of 2021 was the listing of Coinbase. But it wasn't nothing. It wasn't because Cardano had smart contracts going. Nope. Smart contracts didn't come until the end of the bull cycle, which was in end of the bull cycle, which was in September, October timeframe-ish. That's when Gogan came in. Gus said, "Same here, brother. Okay, I will check it out. I appreciate it. Yeah, now I appreciate you, Gus, always, man. Yeah, check that video out. I just dropped it yesterday, and yeah, I think that coin has a lot of room to grow, man. It could be the next one, next big one on Binance." Rocco86 says, "Yo, man, what up, Rocco? Do you know some Polish boxer?" Polish boxer? No, I don't know any Polish boxers, but I do know Polish footballers, because you know, one of the legendary, one of my favorite soccer players is from Poland. His name is Robert Lewandowski. It's a really talented man. Robert Lewandowski. I think he's the captain of Poland right now. And if you watched his career between 2013 and 2021, I was watching him. He's one of the greatest strikers Europe has ever seen. Robert Lewandowski, man. Lewa. I think he's 37 years of age right now. He's still going. He's still playing in Bayern Munich at elite level, high level. Lewandowski is dope, man. If you watch the I think he was robbed of the Ballon d'Or because in 2021, you know, when the pandemic thing happened, Lewandowski won the treble with Bayern Munich. You know, he won the domestic treble with Bayern Munich, the Deutsche Pokal. He won the German Cup, the Bundesliga, and the Champions League in the same season. He was the best player of the season that year. And they stole his Ballon d'Or and they gave it to Leo Messi. That was injustice, man. I didn't like that. They did my Polish brother wrong. You know, I'm fighting for Poland right now. They need to give that Ballon d'Or to Lewandowski because that year, he's the one who deserved it. That season, Lewandowski was lethal. He was crazy. Like prime Benzema. You know how Benzema was with Real Madrid after Ronaldo left? This is what Lewandowski did for Poland, man. And they didn't give him the Ballon d'Or because he's a striker. It's very sad, you know. I didn't like that decade of Ronaldo and Messi just going back and forth. If Ronaldo wins it this season, Messi wins it the next season. But in between, there were great players that did achieve some unbelievable things that deserved to win it. I think throughout that decade between 2010 and 2020, there was only 2 or 3 players other than Ronaldo and Messi that won the Ballon d'Or. It was Luka Modric in 2018 because of the World Cup. Shout out to Croatia. And I can't remember the next player that did it. But yeah, besides those 2 was only the ones that was going back and forth. Rocco86 said, Polish box WBO, WBC. What's his name? Andre Galata. Oh, man, Andre Galata was a legend. I remember that guy. Didn't he fight Mike Tyson or something? And Thomas Adamek. Galata fight with Mike Tyson? Yeah, he did. I remember Andrew Galata. He was a gladiator. He was very strong. He was big, too. Andrew Galata was a legend, man. I remember that guy. I think he fought Lennox Lewis or one of the... that era of boxing was also great. Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Andrew Galata, David Tua. If you remember David Tua from Samoa. Shout out to my Samoans. David Tua was dangerous. He was lethal. He was a big man, a lot of power. Punching power was absolutely amazing, man. Really strong. But in this era of boxing, nah, Poland doesn't dominate it, my brother. I think this era of boxing is Ukraine. The Ukrainian heavyweight champion of the whole world. He beat Tyson Fury, beat Anthony Joshua. He beat up everybody in the UK. UK people had to submit to that guy, bro, the Ukrainian guy. I forget his name. But yeah, he beat up everybody, man. He's one of them. And yeah, Rocco86 said Usyk. Yes, Usyk, Alexander Usyk. Very skilled fighter, man. He's the only one that I've seen do the Muhammad Ali thing. He can fake, he can bob and weave, and boom, he's out of there. And if you see Usyk versus Tyson Fury, the height advantage, Tyson Fury was a little bit taller than him and had a longer reach. But Usyk, being a southpaw, I think he went under his guard and he was just outboxing Tyson Fury. It's not even close. If you rewatch the game, the fight, you would know that Alexander Usyk is very, very strong. He's powerful, man. Alex Usyk. Yeah. I wanted to see him go against Prime King Kong, because shout out to I don't know where King Kong Ortiz is from. The brother from Venezuela or somewhere in South Peru, somewhere in South America, King Kong Ortiz is from. I wanted him to go against Luis King Kong Ortiz because Ortiz had a lot of bouncing in his career. If a heavyweight is on his feet and he's not flat-footed, I like that kind of style of walking because I'm tall, you know. I'm tall. I'm 6'5". I'm like, yeah, I'm close to that 6'6". So I like heavyweights bouncing around like Muhammad Ali and having that longer reach. I've always been into tactical combat and hand-to-hand combat and martial arts and stuff like that. Ever since I was little, I always liked military stuff. Yeah, that was tough, man. I like those guys. But yeah, man. Usyk, whew, Alex Usyk. Rocco 86. I hope you seen the Terrence Crawford and Canelo. that was a good fight. TC, man, TC. Yeah, he's yeah. A lot of people. I knew that for many years, but a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, Canelo's the best because of X, Y, and Z." But TC, every time he moves into a division, he dominates that whole entire division before he stops. And right now, at 37 years of age, what he did to Canelo, come on, man. Even Canelo had to admit, this guy, I could not figure out his style. I can't copy his style. I can't master his style to beat him. And that was an amazing thing, man. And he showcased masterclass. Sometimes talent is absolutely like to see people with talent, you can't fight that. A lot of people they do that too in the game of life. When you see someone who's talented, just acknowledge their talent and move on. Because chances are you might not be able to beat them at those whatever they are super talented at doing, because they've been doing it at an elite level for so long. It's just an absolute masterclass and a beauty to watch. You know? Yeah, man. But yeah, I've just got on here to talk about Binance and CZ being pardoned. I really like what happened. He deserves it. Unlike SBF, man. SBF, I don't think SBF deserve to be pardoned or none of that stuff, man. I don't know. There's a lot of criminal activities he got into, and people who take people's funds and they go play with it are not to be trusted in the game. You know. But yeah. All right, man. I'm getting ready to get off here now. I just wanted to come here with a quick live, talk about CZ, talk about Binance, and all these other things. I got more content coming. Hopefully in the week, you're going to see me drop them slowly. Yeah. Shout out to you all. I have been Nakamoto Crypto. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it. Check out some of the other content that I've been coming on. I don't do content every single day, but when I get the time, I'm gonna definitely get in, man, and do the content thing. Yeah. Bless everybody. Peace.